Well, here's some more for you. Jay Mohr. How you doing, Jay?
Hiya, boys.
How are you?
So, Ronnie, I'm curious as to how it's going with the bookings for Unmasked, because we talked briefly about it when I came up that day.
All right, there's been a slight problem. Fez Whatley was in charge of the Unmasked, and
Producer Fez Whatley?
he was going to be executive producer of that. And it just got a little too big for you, Fez?
Yes, I mean, I was getting some contacts. I just wasn't able to coordinate anybody right away.
Now, you had working for you Eastside Dave McDonald. Both you guys said, let me take over the Unmasked. I would love to now that Kenny's going to be just down in D.C.
Ronnie, isn't that the problem? Don't you mean Davis McDonald?
Davis McDonald. Dave, I'm not surprised by Fezzy's thing here, but you seem to have always been a go-getter. This is something you wanted, and you dropped the ball.
Well, I feel like I wasn't allowed to perform because I did actually do a lot of work, a lot of research, getting all the names and contact info. I wasn't allowed to call.
Okay, you're fired from Unmasked. What I have to do is walk back in here, fire somebody, to let everybody else know that I'm serious.
All right.
But you fucked up.
Yeah, I know. I am not denying that. I just I thought that I got a lot of work. I did a lot of work on it. I just didn't.
Is this true, Fez?
He gave me contact information, but he kept wanting to call people himself, and I couldn't let that happen.
But it took
because
somebody would end up getting booked?
No, because he's a maniac on the phone. I walked in here yesterday and caught him making phone calls he shouldn't be making.
You just did lyrics from Flashdance. You just called him a maniac on the floor.
On the phone.
He's a maniac.
Yeah.
All right. So, but I mean, this is Unmasked. This is not something that can stop. This has to keep going. It's like the greatest thing on radio, and I mean, it should be on television.
I gave Fez this package, to be honest, and it took me a lot of work to get these names. But then I wasn't allowed to make the calls. That takes a lot of effort to do.
Davis.
I wasn't allowed to
Davis,
just complete
listen to Jay Mohr.
Mr. Holly, sorry. Mr. Holly.
You're putting a lot of effort into explaining how hard you passed the buck.
That is true.
Fez is my superior, my boss. If he says don't make calls,
Davis.
I can't then make calls. I'll get that. That's fireable.
Davis, we can sing together. We can't talk together. Okay.
That's true.
If a boss says don't call, you can't.
Davis, you say I gather all the information. I got all the packets together. I got all the phone numbers, and then I handed them to Fez. I don't know what happened.
That's bullshit.
It is bullshit. I feel like that. I'm the one who feels that it's bullshit.
Do you think Fez should be off the project?
I'd love to make these calls. If that's what that means, then that's yes.
All right, Fez, do you want to take yourself off the project?
No, I do not want to take myself off the project. I really don't. I don't want Dave making calls. Yesterday, you were making calls to restaurants you shouldn't have been making.
Well, it was Florio's, and it was.
You got to believe in him. If we can't trust this guy to make calls, then he shouldn't be in a producing thing. No. He should be on the on-air monkey.
And not only that, but I heard the Florio's went poorly. If I had been allowed to make that call, the fucking thing gets put up an hour, and everyone has a fun time. Diddy Mac fucking knew.
Ronnie, I think I have a solution to your producer problems.
Thank you, Jay. What do you have for me?
I have Eastside Earl Douglas.
Okay.
The guy called. He made it happen. I showed up on time. He sent a card for me, for crying out
loud. I gotta agree there. Earl Douglas was the man. As a matter of fact, Earl Douglas has something booked for my after show today, Jay. Yeah. Marianne Faithfull. Been with 3 of the 5 Rolling Stones. What more do you want? That's a great guest. All from Earl.
Well, how about when Opie and Anthony move into their new studio and they fire half their producer staff? You could just, cherry pick, really.
Because their producer staff is just awful, dude. I mean,
really?
A big part of the headaches that O&A have gone through over the years is they were too good to these mutts.
Oh, I thought it was the sense of entitlement.
No, I didn't hear that last part. Here's what I'm saying.
I was talking to my son.
Oh, okay. So the point is this. I don't think there's anybody on that staff that we want, right?
No.
And there's no one on this staff that we want.
Well, I wouldn't say go that far. I mean,
so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to buy a payphone and wait for fucking huge headlining legendary comics to accidentally call that phone during a fucking wrong number, and I bet I can book more people than you guys.
My son's 6 years old. You want him to be your producer, Ronnie?
He actually couldn't do any worse. He couldn't do any worse.
He could do security, too.
Why don't you just say this, Fez? You didn't care? Dave, you say you didn't care, and then we'll end it there, and we'll end as friends. It's just nothing I cared about.
I did care about it. Still do, because I'm still getting the names. Let me call. Please, Ron. Let me call.
Davis, wait a second. Hold on. Let me talk to the kid. JJ.
I want to call.
I need you to call comedians to do a talk show with my friend Ronnie. You think you can make that happen for me?
What? I don't know their numbers.
No, we'd get you the numbers. We would spoon feed you. We would give you the names, we would give you the numbers, and all you would have to do is call that person and say, would you like to talk to Ronnie B on this show? And they'll give you an answer, and then you tell me what they said.
But is it okay if you write down the number?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write down the number. I'm going to give it to you. Wow, I never realized how easy this job was.
I found a good idea.
What's my son's good idea?
A check.
Yeah.
Everyone he calls.
When everyone he calls, he's going to put check mark next to that name so he knows you called that person already. This kid's a genius, Ronnie.
Well, he does have a plan, and I don't have anybody for that. I really just have the pay phone and hope for wrong numbers.
Am I going to see you guys next week?
Yeah, we'll be hanging out.
I'm going to do Gotham in a couple weeks. I'd love it if you came down, Ron. That's not why I called, obviously.
I'm going to come down and hang out with you.
All right, great. Whose name? Hold on. Your new producer, Jackie, has a question.
Yes, Jackie.
What is it?
What's his name?
Whose name?
The guy that you're talking to.
I'm talking to Mr. B.
Mr. B?
Yeah.
Put a check next to that.
What'd you say, Jackie?
Honestly, what's to talk to Mr. B?
Oh, yeah. You call the comics, and you say, do you want to sit down and talk to Mr. B?
Okay.
And if they say yes, you tell Mr. B, this guy's all set. You want to practice?
Yeah.
Tell Mr. B right now, say, Zach is all set. Ready? Because I put it, go ahead.
Zach is all set.
Perfect, Zach.
Put a check next to his name and everything.
He's got a check next to his name.
I'm just going to draw a check.
Yeah. All right.
Got it.
All right, fax that to me, and I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay.
All right, we'll have lunch. We'll do deli.
I'm showing you how good I can do it.
I'm showing how good I could do it.
Well, it's going great.
Look at Zach's fax.
Or I'll put an X.
All right, put an X. If I see a check there, I'll know, or an X, either one.
Down, Mr. B.
I'll never let you down, Mr. B.
I don't think you will, buddy.
Man, that's nice.
I really feel great about that. Yeah.
I'll never let you down, Mr. B. He says.
Yeah.
Look
all right.
At that. My son thinks it's the easiest job in the world. You hand him the numbers, and all he has to do is, he goes, but how will I know these people's numbers? No, I'll give you their numbers.
Sure.
Put an X or a check.
And he says,
an X or a check?
Sure.
You know what?
Or a check.
Either that or tell him to just draw a little fire truck, and I'll know what it means.
Okay. A check means they're coming, an X means they think they're too big for it.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, handsome. I'll see you later. Maybe are you guys on next week or off next week?
We're off next week, but we'll be around town, so maybe we'll look for you. All right, buddy?
All right, handsome.
All right. Talk to you later.
I'll be seeing
Bye,
you
Jay.
at Count Basie in Red Bank.
Now, can I just say something to you guys?
Yeah.
How embarrassing is it for me? Jay Mohr, big TV star, calls me, says, I want to hear this show. He knows the history of the show, all the great comics who did it, and this crazy story between you two.
Right.
And last year, how often did you guys bitch about the DC staff?
Constantly.
Now, did anybody ask you guys to be involved in that show? Never.
No, we asked.
No, you didn't ask. You took over. And you were doing great, everybody, but you didn't. You weren't ready to be a general. No, Dave, you're the one who lets me down the most.
I feel like I'm a general material. I have to be allowed to do the job that I put. It's like I took all the batting practice, I hit off the tee, I'm fucking ready to go, and then the guy says, "No, you're not going to get in the game." It's not fair. I fucking work my ass off, hours and hours and hours for this shit. I'd fucking want to. I'd love to make these calls,
dude. There was. I told you. When you first started, you were making calls.
I never.
And you started calling people that I had already called after I told you I had talked to them.
But I'm saying.
So I told you couldn't do it anymore because you wouldn't listen to me. There was people I had contacted who had contacted me back.
You know who told me they wanted to do the show? Fucking Bill Burr. He's in town this week. Has any of you guys talked to him?
I've not talked to Bill.
I talked to him 6 months ago. He goes, I would love to do the show. The comic who does the show with Eddie Trunk tells me, I want to do the show. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Nick DiPaolo.
No.
No.
That does the show with Eddie Trunk.
Oh, Jim Florentine. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is what I worry about going on. There's no X's. There's no checks. It's just crazy talk.
I have it. But, I mean, it would be an easier process if I feel like...
I tried it with you. You couldn't do it.
No, but Fez, what I'm saying is it'll be easier for you if I just make all the calls. I'll report to you what goes on. I'll report to you and Ron what happens. But why even risk the miscommunication? When I've done the work to get the fucking numbers, I'd love to then be able to finalize it. And we shouldn't both be fighting to call people. I should make the calls. I want to. Because it's not, it's like if you do all that, you want to then finish the job. I want to finish the job.
Apparently not. Right now, I'm going with Zach Mohr.
Oh, come on. That
You know
kid
why?
is way too young for this.
I think he's exactly right for this job. Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
And more better than you both. All right, who's the guy out there with shit written all over his face?
Oh, boy. He's up here.
Who's up here? What's going on, Dave?
That's Cruel Circus.
Uh-huh.
He's the person who passed out in his own puddles of puke at my baby shower. Casey and my baby shower.
By the way, I just got a text from Lily. Ron, no one on that staff was able to give you what you want like I was. I love Unmasked. I only wish I could produce it from Rochester.
Well,
Way to slap both these guys down,
no,
Lily. I love it.
That's not exactly true.
I love
mean,
what she said.
Everyone had their own jobs.
No, but she was right there for me last year. You know
Yeah,
that.
she was.
my
She
right
was.
arm.
She was good.
She was very good with Unmasked.
And you know how easy it would be for her to book this thing with her connections?
I don't know. I'll find out. I'd love to find out some of the tricks of the trade.
You're off, dude.
No,
I got no time for tricks of
please.
this trade. I got to go walking around the serious offices and find somebody. I got to fucking take it off the table here.
Can you give me the weekend? I'm just
No.
begging for the weekend. Basically what I'm saying is I'll report to you on Monday. I know we have off, but I'll make a personal call to you on Monday.
No, I take vacations. The last thing I want to hear on my vacation is a personal drunk call from you.
No, it won't be drunk.
You know I love
It'll
you.
be in the morning.
Of course it'll
You know
be
what?
drunk.
Stop this fucking Stevie the assistant bit that you're doing. I'm not. Ass blood. I know you love me. What's up with Cruel Circus? Is he back here to shoot everybody?
It seems like he brought cannolis
Yeah, I'm going to eat those.
and a coffee cake.
Yeah, pissed on.
Oh.
I get his gimmick. I know what he's up to. He's trying to get even. You know who did it to you. You read the thread. It wasn't Ron and Fez.
A very blank stare on his face.
Why wouldn't he? You know what? It's
He's
that-
just very clean now.
Fezzy, what do you want with this thing? You out?
No, I don't want to be out. I really, really don't.
Even though you had 3 months to do this?
It's been a 3-month failure on my part, but I still don't want out.
Let me ask you. If Earl was running this, you think we would have done it better?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's insane. That's fucking,
I don't think so.
That makes me want to pull it out. If you had said, look, I'm still grabbing my sea legs and I want to do this, but we all know Earl could have picked up the phone and booked this thing. The fucking show's already hit. Everybody who's done it loves it. Fezzy had to take a call right now. Mr. Don Rickles. Don.
Ron Bennington, it's a pleasure to speak to you. I was on live read by that fruity guy. Boy, that had
Yeah.
me cracking right up.
Well, he's a
anyway,
pitch
I
man.
got a call from this Jew kid about 10 minutes ago. He's 6 years old. He said he would love to put a check mark beside my name, and all I got to do is come to New York and be interviewed by the great Ron Bennington, whoever he is.
Yeah,
I talked to my buddy Newhart. Now, Newhart told me he thought that the show was run by some sleepy colored kid. But now I hear that the 6-year-old is the man I got to talk to. So what's the story?
Oh, that was the world's worst Don Rickles impression. Love the idea. Here is Craig. Craig, you're on Run and Fez show.
Hey, boys.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious when Fez is going to quit being so selfish about stuff and put his pride behind him, accept the fact that this isn't something that's going to work out for him, Dave seems to have the eagerness about doing this like he does his live reads. I mean, sometimes you just got to put your pride behind you and say, look, to put the show first, maybe someone else should try it, at least give him a shot. And if not Dave, someone else.
Let me point this out to you, Fez.
Mm-hmm.
That sting you feel,
Yes.
that's pride fucking with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it's a thing about pride. It's something that we tried, and he was double the calling.
Did you call Bill Burr?
I have not called Bill Burr yet.
Then why are we having this conversation? These are guys, did you call Jim Florentine?
I have been in contact with Jim Florentine's people.
Jim Florentine's people, he comes in. Why would you talk to people? Talk to the person. These are two guys that are willing to fucking do it right now.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anyone since we had Zach Mohr on.
But I mean, for over the last 3 fucking months. Dave? Is this something you really want, or are you just trying
I really
to?
want it. I wouldn't have gone to the effort of securing all this stuff if I hadn't then wanted to execute it. I understand what Fez meant about me, but I think that was just
He
a
thinks you're
mix-up.
retarded.
It was.
I
He
do.
thinks you're retarded.
It was one miscommunication, and that was it.
You wouldn't listen yesterday when I told you to quit making phone calls, and that had nothing to do with Unmasked.
Oh, I had been drinking. I don't do.
Obviously, Fezzy,
Phone
some days he
calls.
drinks. Let's not fucking make a big deal about that.
I don't know if drinking days are going to intersect with calling days.
I drink during the fucking show, and I drink heavily. I drink 3 days before.
You do?
3 days coming out. Yeah. I like to not fucking know what's happening. So later when I'm listening, I'm just like a regular listener. Like a serious subscriber. I'm like, this is fucking unbelievable. This drunk guy is asking some great questions. I wish I would have. And the fucking Unmasked, that I'm listening to it, and I heard me take off my boot and start hitting Margaret Cho with it. I never heard a fucking interview like that.
Great one.
Johnny Carson never even took off his shoe, let alone starting hitting a woman with it.
He wouldn't even wear boots,
Yeah.
pussy.
And I was yelling out for some reason, I guess it was the alcohol, but I was just yelling out, this is for Pearl Harbor.
Fucking.
Which he probably didn't have anything to do with.
Well, then you fucking host the show, Fez. Why don't you do this? Don't book anyone, then sit next to an empty chair and interview it. So, you glad I didn't get a hold of you? Here's Dave. You're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, I was wondering, last night if any of you guys caught the Osborne Reloaded show. Basically, they really screwed a guy on there.
I didn't
They
say
said
it.
they were going to have a life-changing moment, and they picked this guy out of the audience, and they bring his girlfriend out in a wedding dress, and she gives him an ultimatum: you either marry me tonight or I'm through with you. And he had like 20 minutes to decide.
And which wasn't a lot of time for an actor to decide, and that was the biggest problem with the show. Every single stunt was all actors. There wasn't one real moment on that fucking show. It was American Gladiators.
You think it's not going to do well?
I think it's got 4 episodes, and then it's probably out.
All right, there you have it. There's the radio psychic.
Radio psychic.
Perhaps the future executive producer of Ron Bennington's, I forget what the name is.
Unmasked.
Okay, it's not the interview show. What's that one called?
He just called it Ron Masked.
By the way, did you understand this? Though?
It is his face.
That is kind of funny. Ron Mask.
Could scare guests.
And the guests have to wear the Ron mask, too.
That would be great. Then we all take our masks out. But it would be great. Sometimes when you take the mask off, I've been the guest. No one ever fucking knows it.
That's a weird twist.
But what about this, you guys? I'm not even. This is fucking curtain back. This is like the after show.
Okay.
This is a watch show moment. How come fucking Hicks is doing such a great job with RBI?
He's been allowed to make calls. Honestly, he's been allowed to make calls. If I was allowed to make calls, I'd be getting you guests. I promise you that. Period.
So what you're saying, I'm going to go for this, dude. I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to let Hicks make the Unmasked
Don't
calls.
do that. Don't do that.
Hicks, would you like to book Unmasked?
I would book Unmasked, but I honestly think Dave deserves a shot to make phone calls.
You know he's retarded too, right?
I know he's retarded.
You
but
just got through having a Rorschach rant about him.
That's my buddy. We make up after 7 minutes. We're back on the same page.
Can I tell you where you are, Watley?
Where's that?
Same place as Earl Douglas. You've lost your fucking crew.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost your staff.
Yep.
They're all saying that the main problem here is you.
I would have been willing to do a compromise and have Hicks make some unmasked calls to see what happens.
Hold on. I got a call right now from Bill Cosby. Mr. Cosby.
Hey, Ron, you get Joe, and then you get the pudding pop. And you got the kids with the hipping and the hopping.
Yeah.
Can you ask Fez what cum tastes like, please?
I don't think that was a real Bill Cosby.
Hold on, you're stepping on a laugh that Bill Cosby just got. What is it, Dave?
Oh, Ron, Jesse and Alexandra have stopped by, and they are sitting outside. They've brought 5 cigars.
5?
5 nice cigars. They're outside. Oh, boy. Morning Kill, also from Radio Gold fans, came, and he brought a box of cigars.
A box of cigars? Come on in, Morning Kill.
Okay.
It's the Morning Kill.
Morning Kill.
Let Morning Kill have his pick of the room. Unless I look over, these are Philly. Oh, these are very nice.
Wherever you feel comfortable, Morning Kill. Get off of those bleachers.
A Toro Fuentes. Would you like to sit there? There's a nice seat for you. Whatever you like. Who else do we got, Dave? Seriously.
Oh, well, also, Matt stopped by. He brought a bottle of Jameson's and 5 Cohibas.
I'd love to meet Matt. I'd like Matt to stop in. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's bring him in.
Matt, okay, Matt.
All right, Matt doesn't look like he's old enough to have Jameson's or Cohibas. That looks like Zach Mohr.
Come on in, Matt. Those bleachers, they've picked up a smell over the years. Enjoy this couch.
Wow, I didn't know that, Fez.
Yeah, somehow the aluminum was even able to pick up a stink.
You know what? I like that other couple, though. The one that brought in 5. Let's bring him in.
Jesse and Alexandra.
Yeah, let's bring them in. But let's not let them sit next to each other. Let's move them. Let's move them apart.
Separate ends of the couch, or
no, they're. Yeah, that's better. That way.
Well, she gets to sit next to Morning Kill.
Yeah.
So that's a
Morning
pleasant...
Kill's my fucking best friend today. Morning Kill, of course, brought the cake yesterday. Did a fantastic job. Morning Kill, I wish... you know what? I might even put him where Watley is today.
What?
Watley, I was really... hold on, I got a call right now from Mr. Stephen Wright. Oh. Stephen!
Hi, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm returning Zach's call. I want to ask Fez, why is it that you piss urine but drink cum?
Fezzy, quick question?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that because I piss both of those.
You piss cum?
Well, yeah, it comes out the piss hole.
But that doesn't mean that you piss it. You poor, pathetic, never had a health class kid. Fez, it's Tony Danza. Hey, Tony Danza.
Hey, buddies. But Angela,
wait.
I thought Fez loves cum.
What? Excuse me. I meant it's Barney Rubble. Go ahead.
That was an awful Tony Danza. Here's the good one. Angela, Sam doesn't want to go to college.
Yeah, remember when you did this one, too, the other day? This is my favorite one you've ever done.
I know, but I thought you should have been him for Halloween.
Well, I went with the Spider-Man, did you see?
I didn't like that.
I didn't like it either. I needed an apron to cover that up. You know what I'm talking about, huh?
I know what you're talking about.
Hey, Tony Danza junk hanging out all over the place.
No, that was not for anybody to see.
No, not for public consumption, huh?
No, I don't like those outfits.
Needed a dressing room just for my car.
That's fucking funny. Not just saying the same line over. Here is, this would be a good one. Forget this is Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor.
I know, Jesus. I remember when the boy died, it was on a Friday down by the railroad depot. I said, boy, don't you be fucking around with them Jews without no money on you. The Fezzy come.
All the comics, all the celebrities.
Pisses it. He pisses cum.
They all seem to have the same question.
He also farts puke.
That would be sick.
I think if you go into the urinal and you're taking a piss and cum comes out, you better call your fucking doctor. And by doctor, I mean the guy that you fucking blew the night before. Something is wrong.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.